Hello again, everyone. Welcome live to University School of Jackson Gymnasium in Jackson, Tennessee. Steve Beverly and Alexander Bitterling to bring you this middle school action between the USJ Bruins and TCA Lions. We have a doubleheader tonight, and we are assured that the visiting team is going to be here, unlike Friday night or Monday night when we were here. And we were preparing for a high school game against an opponent when we learned they weren't going to come. So I've been doing this for more than 50 years, Alexander. That was the first time that's ever happened that somebody just didn't show. So I'm glad you're here tonight. I'm glad you didn't fail to show.
Hey, I'm glad I made it too. It's going to be a good night of basketball here at USJ, Steve. Crosstown rivals, which always draws a big crowd. It's going to be an exciting matchup.
Well, it is. Let's go through your starting lineups tonight for the Lady Bruins. Addie Kirkland, Addie Simon, Jessie Vi, Lita Rose, and Ella Hall Eldridge. And then for the Lady Lions of Trinity Christian Academy, Juanita Duffy, Lucy Weiser, Lainey Williams, Mary Grace Cleek, and Ava Engel. And Coach Hatcher and Coach Hardy for these two schools, they feel very confident about where their teams are. Of course, we saw this unit, the two units of the middle school teams, sweep a doubleheader this past Monday night.
They did. The boys taking it home 45-37 against the Huntington Mustangs, and the girls another win, 29-19 against the Huntington Phillies. We got different team names for the two teams.
That's always been the Phillies. As I told you the other night, my former Union University player, Marquita Hunt, now Marquita Hunt Winston, she was always one of the Phillies. And I always said, well, when they introduced you, did you come onto the floor and go, She didn't appreciate that too much. And she doesn't appreciate me saying that now, too, even though I told her I did Monday night. But and we will have the boys' half of the doubleheader just about 10 to 15 minutes after this one is done. So I hope you're going to enjoy a good evening of action between these two teams. Of course, on Tuesday night, we headed down to Millington for the varsities doubleheader sweep against the Tipton Rosemark Academy teams. And for the Lady Bruins, it was, shall we say, just sit back and put it on ice, 74-7, one of the most lopsided victories that they ever had. And then the fellows got to a comfortable lead, up by about 18, but still won it 51-40 after a mild comeback by Tipton Rosemark, the Rebels, in the final quarter. But we're about a minute away from the start of this one, and Alexander is going to be calling play-by-play for this one. I'll be doing it for the men's game, and so we hope that all of you are going to sit back and enjoy it. It is a cold and miserable night out in West Tennessee, and it promises to be even colder tomorrow, but we think we're very happy that we avoided some of the severe weather that really hit hard in the Deep South. There were tornadoes that were spawned near Montgomery, Alabama, near Selma, and then up in North Georgia above Atlanta. We were in the path of that potentially, but thankfully we didn't have that. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back for tonight's games.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
At McCoy's Heating and Air, our #1 priority is keeping you and your loved ones cozy this holiday season. If your HVAC system needs an upgrade, call McCoy's for quick, quality installation. Don't wait. With the purchase of your new unit, you will receive our Keep Cozy gift bag filled with cozy essentials for the cold weather ahead. To schedule your system upgrade, call 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Just a few moments away from starting lineups here at USJ, getting ready to take on the Lions from Trinity. Right across town, Steve, and the fans really show up even in the cold weather for games like this.
Oh, yeah, and particularly this is one that brings all the parents out. But if you could not get here tonight for any particular reason, we welcome all of the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, because many people will watch when they've got a relative here on the floor and they don't live in Jackson, Tennessee, and can't get here. So we're delighted to be able to bring you these games on live streaming on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios.
Now just about time for your starters from USJ for the Lady Bruins. It's going to be number 10, Addie Kirkland. Well, they announced number 11, Addie Simeon first. Now it's time for Addie Kirkland, number 10.
I think they maybe just drew the numbers out of the hat to decide who goes first or second.
Number 20, Jessie Vi. And, of course, Lita Rose, who wears number 22. And rounding out the starters for your Lady Bruins is Ella Hall-Eldridge, number 23. Steve, the girls coming off a big win. How do they look to continue that tonight?
Well, I think just continue to do what they do so well, and that's fundamentals. When you get to this level of basketball, and this is their earliest competitive area, where it's really serious between school and not a recreation program, you are really stressing basic fundamentals. You don't have a big playbook. You don't have 20 basic plays. You're probably going to run maybe 6 to 7, maybe 8 basic plays during the game. That's so that they can get really sound in this when these girls move up to the varsity.
Jumping, it's going to be Ava Legal, and the Bruins will win the ball. Jessie Vi. Tipped away, but the Bruins able to hold on to that one.
You're going to largely see man-to-man defense in this game from both teams.
A little pull-up jumper off the mark for Addie Simeon. But the Bruins get the ball back after fighting for it. And a lot of loose balls already early in this one. Mary Grace Cleek will take it down the floor for your Lions. Now, with a game like this, we've got some fans in town watching that are cheering on the Lions, not just the typical Bruins fans. Steve.
That's exactly right. Now, watch this scramble. That's strong defense on that man-to-man, and it was knocked away outside by Mary Grace Cleek. But, again, very, very strong man-to-man defense.
That defense there from Mary Grace Cleek probably saving the bucket because she had a little bit of a breakaway layup there. Up and not going to be the first points for the ball game. So both teams still looking to get into the score column.
You have to be careful on those cross-court passes because so many times you got to be very careful that you've got enough really firepower on it.
Another pull-up jumper for the Bruins, and that one's going to fall in. So 2 points. The first ones go to Jessie Vi.
Well, they're 1 out of 3 from the floor to start the contest, and they're going to the same kind of all-court press that you see from the varsity Lady Bruins.
So the Lions will take a timeout. They didn't like what they see here, and it's tough when you realize you've got to face that full-court press. We'll come back and talk about it more here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network right after this.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
A quick timeout there for the Lions from Trinity. And, Steve, they're facing this full-court press, and they might not see that all the time.
Now, that's the thing that confuses so many teams when you don't see one. And that's what happens. Again, you just play intense on the basketball. And she's got about a 3-inch height advantage on her opponent.
The Bruins moving the ball pretty well right here, trying to find a good look at a shot. There's one. Up And that one's in. A beautiful shot there.
Well,
Rose.
as I say, when Lita Rose puts one up, she has to have a little bit more upper body strength, but she really pushed that one home.
Bruins jump out to an early 5-0 lead here. Mary Grace Cleek is going to take the ball across the half-court mark. And great defense so far from Addie Simon against Cleek. Up for three, off the mark. Put back won't go either.
That's a little surprise there because it looked like she was beyond the end line when she tried to save that one. Never mind, it's going to be the Lions' ball anyway.
She tried to save it and ended up throwing it right out of bounds anyway, so whether she was in or out, they lost the ball.
And again, when they're playing half-court defense, they're very intense, double-team the ball a lot. And that makes it so difficult for a team like Trinity to get its offense structured.
Here's a good look. Draws the foul, and the shot's going to fall for Lucy Weiser. So Lucy Weiser a chance at a three-point play now.
Well, you go against a team that has such intense defense like this, you've got to be able to hit from the free throw line as well. It is crucial for you to develop those points. And I know both of these coaches probably insist on a lot of free throw practice. Official is going to take a timeout here, and looks like Trinity is going to take a timeout again.
So second timeout for Trinity. We'll take one as well and be right back with the rest of the first quarter.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
While I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
The Bruins back out on the floor, and the Lions about to shoot this free throw here, looking to make it 5-3, as Lucy Weiser will take a chance here from the charity stripe.
These teams shooting 50% from the floor right now, 2 out of 4 for the Bruins, 1 out of 2 for the Lions.
That one's not going to fall. Rebounded by the Bruins. Lita Rose was all over that one.
Boy, and Lita is deceptively fast.
Here's a three. A little too strong.
That's what happens. Ella Sallee came in for that follow shot, and that really is the big difference. When you put up a three, you do it when you got people underneath the rebound.
So the Bruins back to that 5-point lead. And Juanita Duffy forced to throw it off the leg of the Bruins.
But that's how that pressure works. And what it does, it just wears out an offense trying to somehow get it down to midcourt. That's how you have to do it, is get it down the middle.
Here's a drive, triple teamed, and the ball will still find the hoop.
Mary Grace Cleek had just an extra step on the inside and managed to navigate it beyond those 3 defenders.
Wide open look at a three here in the corner, yes. For Ellie Hall-Eldridge, her first points of the ball game.
So they are developing the three from the corner quite well.
Whistle on the floor, looks like it's going to be the Lions' ball to inbound. Mary Grace Cleek trying to get something to develop, but the Lions aren't doing a lot of moving on offense.
No, and there's nobody trying to cut to the inside. That's going to be an over-the-back foul.
A little bit too aggressive there for Ella Hall-Eldridge. She just tried to get the steal and ends up getting the reach over. So the Lions will be able to reset up here.
Ava Engel has a height advantage on just about everybody on the USJ team. They just need to exploit that for Trinity.
There's a good look. That one's going to fall in for Ellie Nethery, sorry. Couldn't read my old writing there. 10-6 is your score right now. That one's off the mark.
Now, you notice they get a high arc on those jump shots, and that's largely because they're staring up at the basket a lot more than the varsity players are. Ella Hall went after that one tooth and toenail, trying to grab that one away for a steal, and she just it's really the mark of a good defensive player when you stop yourself before you go in for the over-the-back foul. They're going to give her a little bit of a rest and bring in Cooper McGee.
And you like the aggressive play that you see from Ella Hall Eldridge. You just want her to be a little bit more intentional with it. Make sure you're not committing those fouls like that. So the Lions have been doing a good job of getting the ball down into the paint and laying it in. It looks like that's got to continue to be their ball game plan here.
And a high jumper. That was short, but is it going to be a foul after the shot? Yep, it's going to be a two-shot foul.
Looks like the foul's going on Jessie Vi.
So that's the second team foul.
Scoreboard says 3, but we've only counted
We've
2.
only counted 2 in the game so far, so I don't know where the third one was.
Launches that one and just off the mark.
Lainey Williams is the smallest player on the floor, but she is very fast. And she had it to bound off. And Trinity playing a bit of a half-court trap now, and traveling is called.
You could see her pivot foot there just moved a little bit, and that's going to be called for a travel every single time.
And just a slight bit of indecision as to whether to pass it off or try to bring it down a little further.
The Lions almost out of time to inbound that one. Whistle. We'll see what the call is here.
And they're going to discuss it. And it's a turnover. That's the 5th one for the Lady Lions. So this time only bringing 1 up front.
They're going to say Juanita Duffy touched that one right before it went out of bounds. And great shot there.
That was a floater, and Addie Simeon was literally moving with the ball as she shot it and got the friendly roll.
The Bruins doing a good job of dispersing the scoring. 6 Bruins have scored. No one scored more than once.
Now that's what you do, get it to the inside for somebody like Ava Engel and then let her deposit it. That was clearly the height advantage there.
And you mentioned it earlier, Steve, there's a clear mismatch there, and they've got to exploit that if they want to win this game against the Bruins. Looks like it's going to be a timeout for USJ, so we'll take one as well. Right now your score is 12-8. We got 22 seconds about left in the first quarter here on BallGame Blitz.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Ingles about to shoot the free throw here from the three-point possible play, Steve, and she looks like she is dominant tonight.
I think she's going to be one they're looking forward to on their varsity in the years to come. She's just got so much. You can just see her a natural athlete on the floor. Just the iron unkind on that free throw.
Rebound by Lita Rose. She's going to try to take the ball up the court, but a little bit of a trap as well from the Bruins, or excuse me, from the Lions.
And forcing the turnover. That is the third one on the Lady Bruins. So they got a chance to cut this one down to 2 before we end the quarter. They're going to have to hurry, though.
Just a little over 10 seconds. That one's stolen away by Addie Simeon. And she'll put that one up and in.
And that's just one where you put them to sleep and force the turnover.
Ingles dribbles out the clock. It looks like she just thought she had a little bit more time than she did, but the score at the end of the first quarter, 14-8 as the Bruins lead it. Right here on BallGame Blitz. We'll take a quick break and be back with the second quarter of action.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson, or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with elite dental care, and let your smile say it all.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
A good crowd out here on a rainy, cold night, Steve, at USJ, but the fans still out here to support their girls and boys.
And it's a tight one here, 14-8. Trinity still trying to figure out this all-court pressure on the part of the Lady Bruins, and that, that's why this is a feeder program for the varsity.
I thought you said a theater program, and I was like, well, what shows are they doing?
No, not that one. I got to clean your ears out, boy.
Off the mark again for the Lions, and the Bruins able to get that one. Bruins pass it ahead and finally got the ball across half court. Here's a look at a three. Yes.
You give Addie just about 2 seconds to get set, and she will burn you.
Addie's got 7 now in this ball game.
And so far in the game, they are 6 out of 9 for 67% from the floor.
You'll take that for any team at any age.
At any level, yes.
Ball out of bounds there, and the Lions remain in possession of it.
And they're bringing in Peyton Tharp and giving Juanita Duffy a bit of a rest.
That one just... See, it'll be tipped away by Ella Hall Eldridge, so it'll still be the Lions' ball.
Lady Bruins picked up 7 points off turnovers in that first quarter, and you look at it was a 6-point differential, and that's where really the difference in the ball game is.
Mary Grace Cleek struggling to get anything to develop for the Lions so far. And great defense from Addie Simeon.
I tell you, I like to watch somebody like Lainey Williams play because she's giving up such a height advantage, but she's so very fast with the basketball.
Good spin move and right to the basket, but it can't get it to fall. That's going to be another foul on Ella Hall Eldridge.
So Ella Hall with a couple. And that will bring into the contest Ella Salih, who did terrific job when she was in on Monday night.
Much quieter quarter here in the second quarter. We're about halfway through it. That one won't fall for the Lions.
I just love the way Laney drove right through the defenders. And you look at, she's giving up about 4 inches to one, 5 to another, and 6 to another, but she had no fear whatsoever.
So the Bruins, the largest lead of the night right now, 9 points. Here's a three, looking to make a big addition, and it will.
Lita Rose with her second one of the night.
You got to love the way the Bruins are shooting the basketball right now. They've got a 12-point lead. It's double digits.
6 out of 10 for 60%.
A three is up for the Lions, just off the rim.
Look at this. Nah, she's not going to be able to catch up with it. That would have been a good buy. So chalk them up the turnover. But Lady Bruins have their largest lead of the contest at 12.
The Lions look a little disoriented. This is probably a good time to take a timeout. You're down to the biggest deficit you've been facing tonight, and it looks like you're struggling on both sides of the floor.
They got somebody wide open down the floor. Oh, just off the mark.
Addie Kirkland was just waiting under the basket wide open, and she got the basketball. It would have been an easy layup.
And yet another turnover forced.
Driving right to the basket for the floater, can't get it to fall.
She pulled up just a little bit short of the basket, and her momentum allowed that one to go astray. And look at this.
Good steal here. And up and in for the easy layup from Lita Rose.
Lita Rose with 8 in the contest now, and that is 9 points off turnovers.
So this is starting to get a little bit out of hand for the Lions. You got 3 timeouts, you got to take one here. That's going to be a foul called.
So that is turnover number 9 for the Lady Lions. So far in the game, I'll do a quick check on the stats here. 9 out of 14 from the floor for the Lady Bruins.
Here's a look at a 3. Yes, and the Bruins can't miss tonight.
And Lita Rose, just keep feeding her if you're a Lady Bruins fan, because she is going to burn you. And here's another turnover.
She's got 8 points here in the second quarter. And there's still 2 minutes left to play. Thought about the shot there, but Lita Rose is open. Get her the ball. She steps out of bounds, trying to drive up the baseline there. She didn't find the pass open like she wanted to as soon as she wanted to, and she steps out of bounds.
Now USJ with a 17-point lead. They were up 14-8 coming into this second quarter, and it's been an 11-0 blitz.
Ellie Nethery is going to inbound the ball here.
And once again, that consistent, relentless all-court pressure.
And Lita Rose won't even let that ball get inbounds. She swats it right out immediately.
But it really does. If you have to do this all game long, and there's your turnover.
Drawing the foul. Cooper McGinney.
What I was let's see who's going to the line here. I can't see the number.
It's Cooper McGinney.
Oh,
number 3.
Oh, Cooper McGee.
Yeah,
he
McGee,
is.
yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I was beginning to wonder, where was McGinney on this team?
Once again, it's my rushed handwriting, and I can't read it. I've got nobody to blame but myself on that one.
And look at that. Just steal it right back away.
Lita Rose looks like she's ready to be moved up to high school already.
I think they would be happy to have her.
Up and in there.
That was a beautiful give-and-go feed to Ella Salih, and you just have to have patience for your cutter to get to the basket.
Ella Salih's got 4 now. 2 in each quarter.
14 of the 27 points have come off turnovers.
So the Bruins would lead with just the points off turnovers because they lead this one right now by 19.
Alexander, notice how many times just on the throw-in somebody makes the mad dash to knock it away. And again, it's frustrating because you have to reset your offense again.
And once again, the Bruins almost steal it away, but the Lions get lucky on that one.
That's not a double turnover because USJ did not get clear possession of the ball.
Lucy Glenn was trying to back down there. And Lita Rose, once again, getting the steal on that one. Step back 3, just too strong. That one's going to be up and in for Ella Salih.
Well, Miss Salih has just found herself another opening there right inside the paint down low, and here you go again.
Just off the mark on that one, but another steal for Ella Rose. She's got several already. Look at that dime, too. That pass was a beauty. And Jessie V able to get it done under the basket.
Well, Jessie was just, she could have camped out there.
Stella Rose tried to steal that one away.
And jump ball, Rose. That's going to send the alternate possession back into the hands of USJ.
So Lita Rose doing a great job there fighting for the jump ball. She looks so dominant tonight.
And this is where it just, you have to say at this point in time, this is just totally demoralizing for the Trinity team because they played a competitive first quarter.
They were down 12-8 and another easy bucket there for Ella Salih.
Well, as they say, just keep feeding the hand that brings you there, and that's exactly what they did.
As I was saying, the score at the end of the first quarter, 12-8, the Bruins led it. And the Bruins have just added 21 points on unanswered in this second quarter.
And they'll play it for the final shot of the quarter.
So it looks like the Lions will have a scoreless second quarter. Ella Sally, another easy layup, and
she's in double figures now with 10.
They don't have an answer for her under the basket. As the Bruins get the ball again, they've got to put it up quickly. Ella Rose won't get that one to fall. So 35-8, a monster second quarter for the Bruins, Steve.
That's all you can say, really, because that's exactly what it was. Nobody scored for the Lions in the second quarter. Let's look at your scoring here at halftime before we take you to a break. And we'll give you a few stats as well on this, but the leader is Lita Rose. She's got 3 3-pointers. She was just red hot from outside. She had another basket. She's got 11 to lead them, but Ella Sally, those inside shots where she was just getting wide open with 10. And then it's well distributed, the rest of them. Addie Simeon with 7, Jessie Vi with 4, and Ella Hall Eldridge with 3. And that pretty well covers all of it. On the other side of the coin, you've got Ava Engel with 2, Lucy Weiser 2, Mary Grace Cleek with 2, and Ellie Nethery with 2. And in the shooting in tonight's game, the Lady Bruins they've connected on 15 field goals in 21 attempts at the basket. How about that? That's just an amazing percentage, and I'm trying to get it tallied real quick here. At 68% from the floor, just a huge night. And then for Trinity, they've only been able to get it up 13 times. They've hit on 4 of them, and that is for 36.4%. Turnovers in the game. Trinity has given it up 17 times, and that has led to 20 points for the Lady Bruins. 20 points that they've come up with off mistakes with their 27-point lead. Lady Bruins have given it up 5 times, but that has led to no points for the Lions. So that was just a dominant 21-point quarter for USJ, and that's just probably as huge a combination as we've seen.
And the best quarter we've seen from the Lady Bruins all season long. Remember, just on this floor on Monday night, they beat Huntingdon 29-19. Here at halftime, they've got 35 already against the Trinity Lions. So just a monster night for the Bruins. Looks like everything is going right, and they're hoping that's going to continue into the second half of action. Now, if you're a Lions fan, a lot of work to be done. A lot of things you can improve on here in the second half. It's only up from here, as they say. They've got 8 points in the first half, and probably going to be a tough time in the locker room here at halftime.
Well, let's take a break, and then we'll come back about a minute before we're ready to start the second half of play. And so as we take you there, it is USJ 35, Trinity 8.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Nissan and Carlock Prestige, the name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating, 668-3339, for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
We are a team composed of highly skilled physical therapists with new school treatment approaches and old school customer service principles. We are a community presence because we know our foundation rests in relationship building and involvement. We are leaders in this industry, and we're putting in time daily to develop that aspect of thinking. We're more than a business. We're a team composed of individuals governed by a set of core values. We're more than a physical therapy company. We're a movement in the profession. We are your premier physical therapy team in West Tennessee.
championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
At Nest Realty Jackson, connections and relationships are at the heart of everything we do. We wake up every day with the goal of helping our agents build trust, relationships, and community. Let's connect.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle, and at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care and let your smile say it all.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all pre-arranged funerals. So you may have pre-arranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all pre-arranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Nissan and Carlock Prestige, the name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
Welcome back to Ball Game Blitz, presented by Worthy Road Studios. If you're just now joining us for the second half of action, I'm Alexander Bitterling. He's Steve Beverly. And Steve, if they missed that first quarter of action, the first half, but specifically that second quarter, and they're a Bruins fan, they've got to go back and watch that archive video later.
That was a defensive, shall we say, trademark. That's one of those that you show as a clinic to players even younger than this, how you play defense and just do it all game long and rattle the opposition. And USJ indeed did that, forcing 17 turnovers in the first half, and they collected 20 points off of that. So a 27-point lead, and 20 of them came off of turnovers.
And the Lady Bruins not looking to change too many things headed here into the second half of action, but for the Lions, it's a different story. Weren't able to score in the second quarter, so they're looking to change that quick here in the third. You can see this defense by the Lady Bruins moves where the ball moves.
And that was an excellent block by Ella Hall-Eldridge. And actually, she gained control of it, and so it's yet another turnover. And they're starting right off. Now, look at this. They're trying to do a half-court trap with 3 up front.
The Lady Bruins doing a good job moving the ball. Well, right as I say that, what seemed to be a turnover, but able to remain in possession. So the Lady Lions able to get this across quickly, as Ava Ingles takes us a tumble and the ball will roll off her foot. It'll be the Bruins ball. That's just tough luck for the Lions.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when you've had a rough second quarter as they just did, it just seems like sometimes these mistakes just mount up.
That one's up. It didn't look like it had the height for it, but Jessie Vi able to find the hoop. She's got 6 points now.
Well, and just look at how look at this. 5-second violation.
And the Bruins right back to forcing those turnovers because of great defense.
That's already 3 turnovers in 1 minute.
Wide open in the corner, but she won't take the shot. The Lady Bruins trying to find it in the paint here.
That left-hand layup goes up, and Jessie Vi was very smart. She knew the defenders were going to crash in on her, and so she'll go to the line for 2.
Good job there to just throw up the shot when you feel the contact so that you make sure you at least get the shots from the line. So first one's up, and a beautiful shot. That high arc, but as long as it finds the hoop, you love to see it.
Well, and also just think about this. These are the young ladies who are going to be on the varsity in future years. So you're getting a good Did she get the Plinko drop off of that? That's like you're going right down and hit the $10,000 mark in Plinko.
A little bit of a breakaway for the Lions, able to set up their offense here. Still looking for those first points since the first quarter. About 4:30 to play. A little pull-up jumper by Ava Ingles.
And they're going to charge that foul to Ella Hall-Eldridge, and that'll be her 3rd.
So Mary Grace Cleek able to have an opportunity to score without any defense being played, and you've got to capitalize on these.
Well, the game was 10-8 at one point. 29 consecutive points for the Lady Bruins.
And
yes, the
yes,
streak finally ends.
that one gave us a run for our money. Didn't know if it was going to fall in, but the Lady Lions able to end that scoreless streak. They're down 30, so not a lot of hope moving forward, but it feels good when the ball finally follows the hoop.
What you have to do in this kind of situation is just continue to play your game. Play discipline as much as you can, knowing that you're not going to win it, but that you'll learn something from this experience.
Good drive to the basket by Lita Rose as she's able to put it right in.
That's 13 for Lita, and just look at how this team has just dominated.
5-second violation again for the Lions.
17 of 24 from the field tonight for the Lady Bruins. That's more than 70% they're shooting.
That's incredible numbers. If you don't know a lot about stats in basketball, you won't see one like that very often.
This is a rare breakaway opportunity, and it's knocked away.
Well, he's tried to throw that one up.
Excellent steal by Lainey Williams, but she couldn't hold on to it.
They're going to have the Bruins re-inbound it.
They got a 2-on-1 situation, but they quickly pick them back up on defense.
Lita Rose, a good find, but ball's not going to find the hoop. Jessie Vi had a good drive to the basket, but wasn't able to finish. Here comes Ingles the other way, up and in.
Getting a little bit of more tempo, which is more their game.
Big block there by Ingles. The ball's loose.
That would be in rugby what you would call a scrum.
Bruins able to call a timeout, so I guess they had the ball. I thought maybe it was a jump ball situation, but Bruins able to call time. Scores 41-12. Just a few minutes left here in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Lita Rose about to inbound the ball for the Bruins. Almost lost control of it, but they were able to get that timeout just in time.
Oh, look at this.
What a find. Sometimes that's a tough shot when you get the ball right under the basket like that. The angle's tough to make.
And you don't expect to be that wide open.
Another great find.
Well, Ella Salih, all of her points have come right under the basket tonight, and she's got 12.
She's got a height advantage over the other girls, and so that's what you expect to see. Her down in the paint, grinding out those layups. Ingles with the ball right now. And there's a three. Why not take it? Yes. Beautiful shot from Mary Grace Cleek. She's got 7 points now, 5 in this quarter.
That's their first 3 of the contest.
So 7 points now in this third quarter for the Lions. A big turnaround from what we saw in the second one.
Look at Ella.
Great turnaround layup there from Ella Hall. Excuse me, Ella Salih.
14. She's the game leader now.
She's had that shot open all night long. She hasn't missed it. Ingles going to drive in. Good Euro step, but couldn't get that one to fall. Stolen away by Mary Grace Cleek. Good steal. She came from behind and was able to just grab onto that one. A deep 2 off the front of the rim. Unfriendly bounce for Rachel Ross. Lita Rose.
That's one of those like we've seen from the Union University guards sometimes, that pass, that hook pass that they don't even know who it's going to.
Lita Rose for 3. A rare miss from her tonight.
Yeah, because she has been deadly all evening long.
So the Lions here, and it looks like the Bruins are going to pull away from that press a little bit. A whistle after the inbound. We'll see what the officials are doing here.
They're coming over to the scorer's table. This could be a... Let's see what we got here. This could be a clock issue. I don't know.
Looks like we're cleaning up a spill. That's what it is.
There we go.
So a little bit of a water spill or something over here on the bench for the Lions, and they want to make sure nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, you don't want to have somebody sliding over there, and today as we consider concussions, that could be a dangerous situation.
So they got it all fixed up. The Lions will inbound the ball, and the Bruins pulling back a little bit as far as defense is concerned. Tried to find Ingles as the Bruins pass it way ahead. A little too strong.
Yeah, just a little bit too much momentum on that one. That's the 8th turnover for the Bruins.
That's one of the toughest passes to make. When you have someone breaking away like that and you're trying to feed it to them as they're running in transition, it's a really tough pass to make.
Well, and particularly at the kind of speed that this Lady Bruins team has.
Ingles a drive. They're going to call the foul.
And it looks like that's going to be that's going to be a defensive foul. No, they didn't call a charge.
Oh, you're right. I thought I saw the ref throw up a 40.
Well, he did because it was Ellis Ali. It was 40 against 40 on that one.
So Ingles from the line, the bank, but it's good.
I think we could call that one a Bank of Jackson shot.
We'll see if she's got the bank on this one. She does.
Got them both. That's something that most players do not do at the free throw line in particular.
So we've seen the biggest quarter from the line so far as 3 is up, a little short. Good defense from Ingles there.
Yeah, they're playing a much more competitive third quarter.
Ingles driving, can't get it to fall.
Oh, that has to be frustrating.
So 9 points from the Lions in this one. They've held the Bruins to just 10, so a really competitive third quarter. About 12 seconds of action left.
Man, so it goes back to the Lady Bruins. That was just too even with her height advantage for Ellis Ali to be able to grab that one. No, they say it goes the other way.
Lainey Williams was able to throw it right off of her hands.
I don't think they realize how little time there is on the clock. They got to put something up.
Williams tried to throw it up, and she'll draw the foul.
Yeah, I tell you, this young lady has not scored. She's got a chance at it here. She is so scrappy, and she's one of the most fun players to watch, Lainey Williams.
Great shot there. She makes it when it counts. Just an unfriendly bounce, and the Lions match the Bruins in that quarter. 10 points scored for both teams. Still out of hand with just 6 minutes left to play, but you got to love the adjustments that you've seen from the Lady Lions here in the third.
Well, they did a much more competitive game, and in fact, they matched cards in that one, 10 each, 45-18. It's still very much in the hands of the Lady Bruins, but why don't we take a break, and we'll come back with the final 6 minutes.
The name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
One quarter of action left here as the Lady Bruins are running away with this one, 45-18. They're putting a whooping on the Lions.
Well, you look at this across the board. The important thing for the Lady Lions team is the fact that they were able to be competitive in that third quarter. You know, the second quarter got completely out of hand with a 21-0 blitz. But even though that pretty well settled the game, you got to be in there and be competitive all the way through, and they indeed did in that third quarter.
The Bruins all night long have been doing a good job of ball movement. A solid drive there, but off the bottom of the rim. There's a three. Here comes Mary Grace Cleek.
They'd love nothing more than to run off an 8 to 10 point string and make this a really respectable game.
The Lions trying to find any kind of opening. A deep 2. That one won't fall for Cleek. Out of bounds, so it's going to go the Bruins' way.
Ella Sally, the leading scorer in the game with 14, 13 for Lita Rose, 8 for Jessie Vi, and 7 for Addie Simeon. 7 for Mary Grace Cleek, and 6 for Ava Engel for Trinity.
Another big block there from Engel. Here come the Lions the other way. Got a little bit of a jump, but Addie Simeon able to steal that one. She just wasn't expecting her to come from behind like that. Here's a 3. Why not? Wide open. And another block by Engel. But Ellis Ali will not be denied. She's able to get it on the second chance opportunity.
16 for Sally.
Engel able to recover that one. A deep 3 for the Lions. Up and in. Another 3 from Mary Grace Cleek.
And we got timeout called.
47-21 your score here at USJ on BallGame Blitz. We'll take a break and be back with the last few minutes. Right off the mark for the Bruins. Here comes the second attempt, and it's in for Nellie Ferguson.
Yeah, I think what they did is they took a timeout to get just as many people in as they could.
Jump ball between Engel and Emily Eldridge.
We've got a lot of the youngsters in here now. And when you got a game that's in this situation, you really want to see as many of these younger players get some game time.
Give them an opportunity to get some competitive play in and learn and continue to develop their craft. And you can see they know how to play the system well.
That's what I talk about is, okay, you may be down 28, just continue with the discipline.
A steal there from Ferguson. Good give, but the ball's not going to fall in the hoop.
And let's see, is it a foul? It's a jump ball.
Jump ball between Engel and Abigail Howard. So the ball will be the Bruins. We've got about 2.5 left in this ball game.
And there's your foul. And it looks like that may be on, I can't tell from his hand signal. It looked like it might have been on Mary Grace, but it was just so hard to see from here.
We've got a running clock here in this quarter. If you've been wondering how the time's gone by so fast, don't go check your refrigerator for the time.
That's all right.
Don't ever check your refrigerator for the time. They don't have clocks on those typically.
Don't check your microwave for one either, because sometimes they're inaccurate because you have to set those yourself.
It's always a couple days after the time changes where the microwave and the oven and everything's got the wrong time on it. Your car, until you get around to changing it. So the Lions will get an opportunity here. That one's going to fall in.
Laney Williams gets another one. And so they are at 1:21 to go, and we'll just keep it right here during this timeout and just take a look at across the board how all of this has developed. USJ 28 points off turnovers, 5 for Trinity. But taking a look at the numbers on tonight, 11 turnovers for the Bruins, and I'm trying to get this straight here, 26 turnovers for Trinity. And it's just hard to be competitive when you're giving the ball up that much, and that's in no small part because of this all-court pressure. And in the game, Mary Grace Cleek has managed to get into double figures with 10 for Trinity, but over on the other side, it has been, and this is the interesting thing about it, is that there have only been 4 points scored here in this fourth quarter by USJ.
We're just a little bit away from the end of this one. 1:21 with that running clock. So it'll be 1 minute and 21 seconds from right now. Assuming there's no timeouts, which you've got to think that with this score, with the way that it is, we won't see one from either team.
No.
It'll be the Lions' ball, so they'll get another opportunity to make this scoreboard a little more pleasant on the eyes for the Lions fans. There's a drive. Not going to fall.
And she took it inside of a lot of traffic in there, and that was, you just can't be, you cannot have fear against a defense like this. You've got to go ahead and play your game and take it with that dribble penetration.
Gleek thought about the three, decides to pass it. That one, a couple bounces, but it's not going to fall in.
Didn't get the Plinko drop that time.
So the Bruins are going to play for the one shot here, it looks like. Just about 15 left to play. There's a shot up off the top of the backboard.
Yeah, you can't do that. Abigail Howard gave it a run, but it was walking a tightrope across the top of the glass.
But the time will expire before the ref will give the ball to the Lions. So 49-23, your final score. Quiet fourth quarter there from both teams. That's because we had that running clock. 4 points for the Bruins in that one and 5 points for the Lions.
And we're going to be giving you the final totals here in just a moment. Let's take a look at this. Ella Sallee, the game leader, with 18 points. Lita Rose with 13, and she delivered 3 3-pointers all in the first half. And then it was, and I want to get that final score tally there, 49-23. 8 points for Jessie Vai, 7 for Addie Simeon. And so that's what the real leaders were for you for USJ for Trinity. Mary Grace Cleek delivered 10 on the evening and 6 for Ava Engel. But you got to know that these young ladies are going to have a tremendous future ahead of them, and it's fun to watch them at this point. It looks like somebody is being carted off that has had just a little bit of a struggle here. I'm not sure who that is for Trinity, but she was in a little bit of pain as they were going off the floor. So, Alexander, our final here was 49-23. It was that second quarter of 21-0 that made that was the ball game in and of itself right there. Second half, Trinity actually outscored them 15-14. But it was one of those things. There wasn't as much intense all-court pressure in the second half.
But still, for the Lions fans, you've got to love the adjustments that the Lions were able to make, and the Bruins fans got to respect it as well. But the Bruins plan, their defense, their offensive, finding the great passes, finding those easy layups, really made the difference there in that second quarter and the whole ball game. We're just a few minutes away from the boys' middle school game, and we're going to have that right here on BallGame Blitz. We'll take a break, though, and be back in just a few moments with the second game on the night for the doubleheader.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
At McCoy's Heating and Air, our #1 priority is keeping you and your loved ones cozy this holiday season. If your HVAC system needs an upgrade, call McCoy's for quick, quality installation. Don't wait. With the purchase of your new unit, you will receive our Keep Cozy gift bag filled with cozy essentials for the cold weather ahead. To schedule your system upgrade, call 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
At Nest Realty Jackson, connections and relationships are at the heart of everything we do. We wake up every day with the goal of helping our agents build trust, relationships, and community. Let's connect.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care and let your smile say it all.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating 668-3339 for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
This is how we Friday night. How do you Friday night?
This is how we Friday night.
This is how we Friday night.
This is how we Friday night.
No matter how you Friday night, you always win at Kaufman's.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. If you live in West Tennessee, you have a need for the services we offer. We treat for all types of pests, including bed bugs, brown recluse spiders, and other hard-to-treat pests. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to encapsulate a crawl space. Give us a call to hear how to achieve the same thing and save thousands. Southeastern Termite and Pest Control can handle all of your termite and pest control needs, wood fungus and moisture barriers, real estate closing letters, and so much more. Southeastern, 731-660-1052.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all pre-arranged funerals. So you may have pre-arranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all pre-arranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
We realize you have a busy lifestyle, and at the Bank of Jackson, we're here to help you fulfill all of your financial needs, personal and business loans, mortgages, online banking and bill pay, and so much more. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back to USJ Gym, as this is going to be the boys' half of the doubleheader, live between the Bruins and the Trinity Lions. And I'll give you the starting lineups very quickly. For USJ, it's Braden Jones, Drew Davis, Hudson Rushing, Eli Yandel, and Sam Cale. They'll be taking to the floor first. And for the Lions, Luke Helton, a young man also whose dad I've known for many, many years, Reed Williamson, Campbell Vales, Tanner Webb, and Kason White. And in case you just joined us, it was a dominating performance by the Lady Bruins as they won 49-23 over Trinity. That all-court pressure making the big difference. Here come the starters onto the floor. Luke Helton, and checking in now, Campbell Vales, Reed Williamson. Reed played on the varsity in football, and he was an outstanding receiver, and so we had an opportunity to do one of his games for E+ TV6 in Jackson during the course of football season. And also bringing in Tanner Webb and Kason White. Now here come the Bruins. Drew Davis. And here's Hudson Rushing. He brings a little height out there. You'll also be hearing from Noah Britt tonight because he has a big physical presence on the inside. There's Eli Yandel. And Sam Cale. And there you have it, Alexander Bitterling. I was about to call you Alexander Bruin there for a second.
A new name, new year.
Yeah, but I do know your last name. I've known this young man for about 7 years now, so I have a pretty good idea on his identity. Well, this ought to be a very competitive game because these two teams, I think, particularly for middle school players, they have a strong physical presence on each end.
And two great teams here tonight. Of course, the crosstown rivals, so people are going to be tuning in to watch. People showed up here to watch, and it's just going to be a great ball game.
Yeah, it should be a lot of enthusiasm. There's a student section down there that's giving us some competition because they've got the ESPN banner over there. These guys from JCS, they're having a blast tonight. Tip goes over, and it's taken by Reed Williamson. So the guys in purple will try to see if they can work in. They're going to do a lot of rotation, particularly around the perimeter. You can see it right now. A lot of movement, particularly with the wing guards, trying to get somebody open with a screen. Calling for it is Kason White, but they cough it up. And
right back the other way.
Tell you what, Alexander, when you have that to start with, and it was White trying to get it down and just could not get it up high enough off the glass. Boy, Braden Jones was calling for that ball underneath. Tipped away, and so both of these teams are struggling a bit here in the early going.
A bunch of turnovers back-to-back. The 3 off the mark as well. Tanner Webb able to pick up the rebound.
And Campbell Vales will bring it back up the floor. So, and he goes to the deck hard, and it almost was a jump ball, but they were very instinctive to pick it back up. There's an air ball, but underneath, they scrambled to get it. Luke Helton couldn't make it go.
Tough start for both teams.
Up and down the floor, and he could not get the Plinko drop, and it's going to be another jump ball, or is it going to be a foul? And so they're going to give it to the Bruins underneath. So we've gone a minute 15. There have been a lot of opportunities at the basket, but nobody has delivered. Each team has shot 3. Sam Kao with the play call, and he takes it himself. And again, the iron was unkind. So they kick it way down the floor for the 3. And it's off the mark once again for Luke Helton.
Almost tipped away there by the Lions.
And that was a case of too many guys on the right-hand side of the floor, and Eli Yandel lays it in.
So the Bruins, the first ones to score in this ball game. We've had about 2 minutes without scoring before that.
And trying for a 3 from the corner. It's not there, and the rebound to Campbell Vales. Vales is a very good ball handler. He can just weave in and out of traffic, and that's going to be traveling. Just as I said he can weave in and out of traffic, he just went backward and could not control his momentum, and that is turnover number 2 for the Lions.
The Bruins coming off a win the other day over Huntingdon. 45-37 was the final score.
And they kick it back over into the corner. And a steal.
Bad pass there, and the Bruins able to rush it the other way.
And it's there, and the foul.
Absolute bucket there from Braden Jones. And he draws the contact. That's tough right there.
That was just one of those that he just stayed with the ball all the way. He knew he was going to get clobbered by the defender and managed to rack it in. And so Braden Jones with an opportunity at a 3-point play. Can't deliver, and high for the rebound is Campbell Vales. So they take their time again. As I said, there is a lot of movement on offense. It's almost a Princeton-style offense where you got the one post player in the middle and then the wings on both the front and the back. They're always rotating. This is a little bit different this time. Fall-away jumper. Not there for Campbell Vales.
The Lions still looking for that first shot to fall in the basket. It's been tough going so far.
Now watch him try to go to the inside with this. In between the defenders, and the follow shot is there for Braden Jones after the original miss by Hudson Rushing.
So Braden Jones with 4 points here in the first quarter.
6-0 lead for the Lions, for the Bruins, pardon me. I'm looking at the purple color here, and there you go. Forcing it in between 2 defenders, Kason White with the first basket for Trinity. This USJ team is facing a half-court trap defense. And they scramble on that one. It goes off the mark for Hudson Rushing. Here's Williamson with it. And Vales I tell you what, Sam got away with a bit of a push there, and it's going to go back into the hands of the Lions with 2:02 remaining, and they got some substitutions checking in for both teams.
It's going to bring in Noah Britt, who has a strong physical presence, especially down in the paint for the Bruins.
Oh, yeah, he'll be a big challenge in there for Kason White. He clogs up that middle terrifically.
Now, the tough thing is when you are a big man like that down in the paint, it's easy to get a foul called on you, so you've got to watch your contact.
That was one of those where Sam's momentum just carried him too far deep and he couldn't control the ball. So Trinity picks up the turnover. And that one just a little bit too strong on the left-hand side for Reed Williamson. And they're going to keep it outside the perimeter again. Got 80 seconds to go. And that's what you talked about, Alexander, that physical presence.
Noah Britt getting it done under the basket. He's a mismatch that will be there all night long for the Bruins to exploit. 8-2 right now. A good drive.
And it drops.
What a bucket there through the contact for Drake Butler. Now, if you watched any Trinity Lions football this year, you would recognize that last name, of course, the head coach and the starting quarterback for your Lions.
Yes. Very familiar names on the Lions side of the ledger. So they got a chance to cut this one down to a three-point game. In and out. Jones the rebound. And for a second, it looked as though Jake Payne was going to be wide open. Go for the three, and the fall away is there for Sam Cale.
Sam Cale had a really tough night the other day. Double digits. He had about 16 and was getting it done.
Lucas trying to find his way on the inside. He did and drew the foul. That was just tremendous dribble penetration on his part. So he goes to the line for two. It's an 11-4 lead for the Bruins. And you can hear that student section trying to give them fits at the free throw line, and it does not go through.
Rolling right off for Hurton. That's just hurting to watch.
That's the interesting thing about it. This student section over here, they're so happy whenever they miss one. they take credit for it the next day at school. Helton, that didn't help them that time. Helton gets the second of the two. An 11-5 lead. Very, very quick Bruin team. Driving the baseline and trying to get it underneath and drawing the foul is Jacob Snyder.
Good job by there, Snyder. He felt the contact, so he tried to throw the ball up as best he could. He knew he had no shot at the basket, but he get a chance here at the line.
And this will be the second opportunity at free throws on the night for the Bruins. Jacob, perfect form.
And coaches love to see that. The swish on the free throw, they preach how important these free throws really are.
Snyder with the second of two. So a 13-5 lead for the Bruins.
Almost touched away there by Cale.
Williamson's speed let him break that press. That was an over-the-shoulder for Drake Butler that just did not go anywhere, but they get the ball back. It was last touched by the Bruins.
Just a few seconds here in this quarter, so the Lions are going to have to develop this offensive play pretty quickly.
They've got Trip Hayes in there on the inside to work against Noah Britt.
Coach will call a timeout for the Lions just to save that 5-second violation.
Well, let's take time out here with 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Bruins lead it 13-5.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating 668-3339 for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
It's been a very swiftly played first quarter. A lot of really fast action between these two teams. Bruins on top of the Lions by 5, and it is stolen. That was just tremendous pressure over in the northwest corner.
Just a few seconds to play. Kale's got to find a shot.
And it goes just off the back of the iron, so he wasn't able to deliver, but 13-5 is the edge for the Bruins as they take the timeout, and we'll take 1-2 and be back with our second quarter of action.
The name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Well, in this first quarter of action, the Bruins knocked down 5 field goals in 12 attempts for 42%. For the Lions, they put it up 10 times and connected twice for 20%. They got to get that improved if they're going to make a rally in this game. And they have checked into the contest Joe Cole. And he is going to provide some height working up against Jake Payne. Williamson kicks it outside. They've gone back to that strong rotation offensively, but the Bruins are double teaming the ball from the outside. The three is not there for Helton, and it will go back to the opposite end.
Good look there for Helton. He was wide open, but sometimes when you're down in a game like this, the nerves get you and you just don't get it to fall.
Braden Jones is the leader in the game with 4 points. You got it evenly distributed between 5 Bruins as they hang on to that 8-point lead. Looked like Jones was going to back off and try a three, but he didn't do it. Instead, it's on the other side, and the three goes astray for Payne. The follow does not go. A third opportunity doesn't go. A fourth one, and the foul.
The Bruins just absolutely winning right now on the offensive boards. And it's tough to beat a team when you give them 4 or 5 chances.
Well, Noah Britt finally connects on that one, and it messes up your shooting percentage, but what more do you care if finally on the last opportunity it goes through?
He'll get the rebound.
And just pushed it a bit too hard.
He was almost surprised that he got the rebound and threw it up as quick as he could, but just didn't have a good angle on it.
Yeah, I think he was. He was just stunned that it wound up back in his hands.
That's that move Shaq used to do. Throw it off the rim and then run in and dunk it.
That was in the era of the Hack-a-Shack.
And no one wanted to get in the way of Shaq and the basket, so they stepped off.
Hudson Rushing is back in for the Bruins. And they got the screen beautifully. Set for the three for Jake Payne.
Wide open look, and you're not going to miss too many of those if you give it to a team.
And a foul on the drive-in. That's the third foul of this first half on the Bruins. So let's see how the Lions play it. Trailing by 13. That fall-away just had no authority on that shot, but it appears he was fouled and will go to the free throw line, so Campbell Vales will have a couple of opportunities.
Interesting foul call there. I didn't see a lot of contact personally, but you hate to argue with the guy that's got the good angle there on the floor.
Well, I'm sure a lot of that was body contact that they were calling. A lot of times fans get mesmerized by what they see, and they think, well, the official has missed that one, but body contact fouls are much more predominant than what you see in most games. Campbell did not get the drop.
Rebounded by Hudson Rushing.
And here they go, comfortable 18-5 lead, and so the basic thing they have to do is work their fundamentals and play their game.
You want to retain the possession of the ball. Run the clock down with the ball in your hands.
Knocked away, and it'll go back into the hands of the Bruins. The difference between this and when you get to college basketball is that it doesn't matter because you don't have a shot clock as far as the time that it needs to get into the basket.
And that's what makes big leads like this so deadly in middle school and high school. It's because there is no shot clock. They can just continue to run that clock down once they have the lead.
Good head fake and just knocked it out of the way for Helton, and they get the follow and the foul.
It was almost good for Helton there that he missed it because he still got the bucket, and now he gets a chance for the three-point play.
So Luke on the follow shot. And a chance to cut this one down to 10. And off the mark, and rushing has been all over the glass. And kicked away, but recovered by the Bruins. And underneath, that's going to be a foul. Excellent position down underneath.
Jacob Snyder will go to the line now.
Snyder hit his first 2 free throws in the contest. A lot of enthusiasm coming from the Trinity cheerleaders and from the Bruin cheerleaders. They're at opposite ends. Tell you what, Snyder's been deadly from the free throw line.
He's looking for 4 for 4 here.
And not there.
Out.
They scramble for it. Boy, now, I'm not sure that Joe Cole didn't throw that back in at the opposite goal.
I think Joe Cole did throw that one up.
You got to remember which end of the floor you're on.
Sam Cale will check back in for the Bruins, and Eli Yandel's going to take a break.
I actually called a game many, many years ago in which a guy named Robbie Cohn rang the wrong goal. He never heard it. He was an all-state player, but he never heard the end of it. Let's see what happens on the steal. Excellent defensive breakup.
Scoring on the wrong goal it's a nightmare for a player. That's one of those things where you wake up screaming because you did that.
And didn't get it, but he will go to the line for 2, so Drew Davis will have a chance to add to the totals. Yeah, Robbie Cohn was a 6'9" player, and he had 38 points in that game. It was in a Christmas tournament, but he would have had 40, except the other basket went in the opposite team's goal. He tipped it in, forgot where he was. It was 3 weeks before I let Robbie forget it. He was a good friend of mine. Halfway through this 6 minutes of action, and here's a steal. And down the stretch he goes, all the way down for Campbell Vales.
Great play there by Campbell Vales to get the steal and rush down to the other side of the floor and complete it with the layup.
He didn't call, and that was a clear over the back by Vales. But underneath, the foul is going to be charged to Luke Helton.
Sam Cale with the great pass there that was almost an assist, but you could see he looked away right as he threw it. That's a highlight play if that basket goes in.
This is the key thing that the Bruins have been doing. They've been playing more for the push down underneath, and they have been drawing a lot of fouls in this contest. And rushing connects. And checking back in is Noah Britt. Coming out is Jake Payne.
Bruins shooting 4 for 9 from the charity stripe right now. A little over 40%.
And 5 for 10. They've gotten to the 50% mark. 21-9 is the lead. It was 13-5 at the end of the first quarter.
So the Lions are going to be looking to get a bucket here and develop the offense somehow.
And a 3 from the corner for Joe Cole.
So luckily for Joe Cole, he missed the one on this side of the floor, but that one, he got every bit of it.
And we got timeout on the floor, so let's take it real quick. 2:26 remaining. Bruins still on top, 21-12.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating 668-3339 for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
Bruins are 7 out of 20 from the floor for 35%. Trinity 6 of 16 for 38.5%. They're almost a dead heat with that. But the Bruins have been doing more to draw fouls. That's from the corner for the three, and it doesn't go. But Bruins have been doing an excellent job on the offensive boards. And Britt, he was robbed. The iron was extraordinarily unkind to him.
That was a great turnaround jumper from Britt, and you just hate to see it bounce out like that.
And we got Kason Moore into the game now, and I think he's probably going to be fun to watch because he's the smallest guy we've seen so far in this middle school contest, but I bet he has natural speed. I bet he is going to be a lightning fast player. So on the foul, that is the 7th team foul of the half on the Bruins, and so that will send Campbell Vales back to the free throw line. And, well, let's see. Everybody has been called over, and I don't know whether we have a timeout. I tell you what, let's take a quick timeout, and we'll be back right after this.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
And back to the free throw line as we return to action live from... Hello there, Stephanie. Stephanie Janda on the floor cam tonight, picking us up from long distance. And Campbell Vales connects with his first of 3 free throws tonight. So they have knocked the margin down just a bit. It was up to 13, and now it is still at 8. And let's see, it's traveling. Yeah, he took a step backwards on that with that rebound, and so turnover number 7 for the Lions.
And the Lions are going to take a timeout to talk it over as they're chipping away at this lead the Bruins have.
Well, we'll take another break while we pause for the cause.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
You know what kind of commercial Paul Schultze, our executive producer, just had, didn't you? Did you hear that?
I did not.
You did not. It's King George commercial. And just like we say about that, everybody go by all of our fine sponsors and tell them how much you appreciate them supporting Bruin basketball right here. It's because of them that you get to see these games on streaming and have an opportunity here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios. Bruins with it now. We're under 2 minutes to go in the first half. And they're going to kick it back around. They were open for a 3 for just a moment, but they were picked up defensively very quickly.
Kale had a good save.
Noah Brett with the easy follow. So Noah has 6.
The Bruins have just been eating up those second, third, fourth, fifth chance opportunities.
Oh, yeah, one of them was a 4-rebound situation. Going for the 3 again, and it's way too high off the glass, but he's going to take it all the way down, we thought. Reed Williamson was open for a flash, but then it's a turnover at the opposite end. And they're going to take it right down the lane. Just could not get the layup to fall. And the floater will not go.
The Bruins are getting chance after chance, and they weren't able to connect there, but it's tough to beat a team when they just get to continue to try at it.
And that would have been a 3. The official had already signaled it. Noah Britt with the rebound off of Campbell Bale's miss. Down to 40 seconds. Britt's going to drive. Fall away is short.
Here come the Lions quick in transition.
Look at that defense. And I think that was just the footsteps of Hudson rushing that really messed that one up. And nice bank shot down at the opposite end by Braden Jones. He has 6.
Braden Jones had a good fake. He faked it with his eyes and with the ball and then went up for that easy layup.
And that's going to go back to the Bruins with alternate possession. They've got just a fraction under 10 seconds to try to get the final shot of this second quarter. Up 25-13. They got to be aware of the clock. And they're counting it off and taking it right through everybody with a left-hand layup was Sam Cale. Deceptive. It looked as though he was just going to hold it back in the backcourt, but he managed to get that one through. And so they go to the locker room with a 14-point lead after this thing was closed down to within 8 at one point. I'll give you the scoring real quick, and then when we come back from our break, we'll give you the overall percentages on the game right now. Braden Jones with 6 for the Bruins, and he matches Noah Britt, who also has 6. And so they are your leaders for the Bruins. Also, you've got 2 for Hudson rushing, 2 for Eli Yandel. Sam Cale has delivered 5, Jake Payne 3, and Jacob Snyder 3. Over for Trinity. And looking across the board, it is Luke Helton with 3, Joe Cole with 3, Drake Butler with 2, 3 for Campbell Vales. He did have a free throw in there, and 2 for Kason White. So those are your scores as we get ready to take our halftime break. As the Bruins are on top of the Trinity Christian Academy Lions 27-13. We'll come back with about 2 minutes before we start this half for the second half and give you what all the percentages are. So everybody, watch these important messages for you.
At McCoy's Heating and Air, our #1 priority is keeping you and your loved ones cozy this holiday season. If your HVAC system needs an upgrade, call McCoy's for quick, quality installation. Don't wait. With the purchase of your new unit, you will receive our Keep Cozy gift bag filled with cozy essentials for the cold weather ahead. To schedule your system upgrade, call 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
This is how we Friday night. How do you Friday night?
This is how we Friday night.
This is how we Friday night.
This is how we Friday night.
No matter how you Friday night, you always win at Kaufman's.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson. Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. If you live in West Tennessee, you have a need for the services we offer. We treat for all types of pests, including bed bugs, round recluse spiders, and other hard-to-treat pests. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to encapsulate a crawl space. Give us a call to hear how to achieve the same thing and save thousands. Southeastern Termite and Pest Control can handle all of your termite and pest control needs, wood fungus and moisture barriers, real estate closing letters, and so much more. Southeastern, 731-660-1052.
Tired of being seen and not heard? At Lifestyle Vision, we believe in patient-centered quality eye care for West Tennessee, which is why we are locally owned and operated. Come see us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or schedule an appointment anytime online. Lifestyle Vision, where compassion meets commitment.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Nissan and Carlock Prestige, the name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. If you live in West Tennessee, you have a need for the services we offer. We treat for all types of pests, including bed bugs, brown recluse spiders, and other hard-to-treat pests. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to encapsulate a crawl space. Give us a call to hear how to achieve the same thing and save thousands. Southeastern Termite and Pest Control can handle all of your termite and pest control needs, wood fungus and moisture barriers, real estate closing letters, and so much more. Southeastern, 731-660-1052.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
At McCoy's Heating and Air, our #1 priority is keeping you and your loved ones cozy this holiday season. If your HVAC system needs an upgrade, call McCoy's for quick, quality installation. Don't wait. With the purchase of your new unit, you will receive our Keep Cozy gift bag, filled with cozy essentials for the cold weather ahead. To schedule your system upgrade, call 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
And let me give you some stats here at halftime from the floor. USJ 10 out of 27 for 37%. Trinity 5 of 18 for 28. And a lot of that is just really the younger players are going to have a harder time having higher percentages because you haven't mastered the long-distance shots as well, and it's a different kind of defensive situation. But if you shoot between 35 and 40, that's pretty respectable for middle school basketball. Turnovers. USJ with 4 and Trinity with 9. That hasn't really been a big factor because each team has only picked up 2 points off the other's turnovers. So that hasn't been a huge factor with a 14-point lead for the Bruins. From the free throw line, Trinity 2 out of 8 for 25% and USJ 5 of 10 for 50%. So those are your halftime sets brought to you by BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios. And we appreciate that company so much, particularly when it's payday.
Absolutely, and the great thing about it is every game is payday. You get paid right there on the spot.
Every day is payday, and after we get it, we gladly go on Tuesday to have ourselves a hamburger, just like Wimpy.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the price of beef, you've got to get paid before you can have a hamburger.
And we're on, I'm told we're on again. Hello there. Now, this is Adriana Boland behind this camera here, and so we just want to say hello to everybody. And, Alexander, tell your folks hey wherever they happen to be.
I will. I think they're at another basketball game for my brother, so they're probably not even watching. But
see, not watching your own kid when he's broadcasting because you got to go to another brother's game. But we'll forgive them for that.
We will. You know, every parent makes mistakes.
Our camera operators tonight, Adriana Boland and the mother and daughter team of Stephanie and Madison Janda. The Lions get the first opportunity here. Reed Williamson trying to set it up. He's working the point. His brother was a terrific guard for TCA back in his day. I should have said his father. That's what I meant, really. Andy Williamson will kill me for that one. Big three. Right through the heart for Braden Jones. Give him 9 points on the night.
Braden Jones doing a good job getting the Bruins right back into it when they come out from the halftime huddle.
And then a turnover. And underneath, well, I think he might probably, Drew Davis should have gone on ahead and put that one up because I think he would have drawn a foul, but instead kicked it back outside.
Drew Davis wanted the ball way earlier. You could see him running down the court, calling for it, wide open. He just didn't get it in time.
That's just one of those things maturity will teach you. Bank in there, and the foul. Nope, it is an offensive foul, so wipe that basket off.
Good job by Campbell Vales to plant his feet, draw that charge, and every single defense across the country, no matter what level, loves when their defense is able to draw a charge like that. 5
turnovers now for the Bruins. It was a beautiful pass to the inside, and he had it open. It looked like we were going to have a 3-point play. Now they're going to the all-court press, and that is giving Trinity all kinds of problems to navigate it, but open for the 3. Iron was unkind for Campbell Vales.
That pass ahead, wow. What a pass to find Hudson Rushing in transition. He's able to put it up easily.
The speed of this Bruins team is just huge. Now watch as they work around the perimeter again. Down by 19. What they want to do is try to make this game respectable, but that pass had no authority on it whatsoever. So they swap out, get some substitutions in. Bruins will toss it in right in front of the scorer's table.
That foul was called on Drake Butler.
They're going to take their time right now. They don't have to be in any specific hurry. And you can see the play being set up by Sam Cale. And had it blocked, but they get the rebound.
Here's a wide open look at a 3. Way too strong on that one.
Did a good job of saving it on the inside. And a foul.
21 going to the line, and as the kids say these days, Steve, 21, can you do something for me?
Well, see, you know that because you're around the hip kids today. I mean, somebody who does a radio show like you and the kind of music you play, you're a hip guy. You know all those phrases. Jake Snyder, first of two.
I don't know that I've ever been called a hip guy before, but I can add that to my resume.
You can now. When they call me to ask me years later for a job recommendation for you, that's exactly what I'm going to say. You're a hip guy. Snyder with both of them to make it a 34-13 game. Almost taking a step too far from the corner. The three is just too much juice on it.
Look at this pass ahead, and the Bruins able to set up quickly.
Yeah, the Bruins are really playing good transition ball. And he was going to drive that baseline, and the foul is going to be charged to Drake Butler.
Look at the ball movement from the Bruins. I mean, the ball does not remain in somebody's hands for too long. They're either putting it on the ground for a dribble or passing it along.
Well, when these guys get to a point, if any of them play college basketball, that's when you really have to play that kind of offense because you only have 30 seconds to deliver. That bounce pass, and that's one, and they pick it right back up and lose it again. So count that as just one turnover and charge it to the Bruins. The three is off the mark. And we're going to have a scrum, but they finally emerge from it. And underneath, wide open all alone is Hudson Rushing.
He's got 6 points now in this ball game. And the woes for the Lions continue. They've gone 5 minutes here without a score.
And the jumper is off the mark. And once again, big rebound for Sam Cale. And underneath,
Drew Davis.
Drew Davis with his first basket of the game. And so you now have 8 Bruins who have scored. And it seems to be just coming apart at the seams for Trinity right now.
Bruins on a 13-0 run right now.
And once again, Drew Davis with 2 consecutive baskets.
The Bruins just are getting in transition. They're picking up those rebounds, picking up the turnovers. They've already got a man all the way across half court, halfway to the basket.
And up 40-13. It was 27-13 at halftime. And checking in again is going to be Joe Cole. He had a 3-pointer in the first half for the Lions. And smart move. He didn't have anybody open, so he decided to kick it off of Drew Davis's foot. So let's see how Greg Carter plays it. They had all kinds of trouble and finally navigated it home. And it goes right into the hands of the Bruins. And underneath, did not get it. Hung up on the lip. The follow is there. Noah Britt, give him 8.
Britt's been doing that all night long, getting the second chance opportunity, and nobody's jumping with him.
And yet another turnover. Well, don't charge that as a turnover because they got it back before there was a full possession on it. A 15-0 run here in the third quarter, and almost stolen away by Jacob Snyder. So let's see how they play it. And forcing his way inside and getting the follow shot is Kason White after the miss by Trip Hayes.
So that ends the scoring drought for the Lions, but they were outscored 15-2 in the last few minutes.
And on the inside, he had the open lane, and it is Jacob Snyder taking it all the way home. And again, trying to get out of that half-court trap, and they finally manage it. And the high jumper for the 3 is not there. They get the offensive rebound, not there. And the block, but the foul is going to be charged to Noah Britt.
Noah Britt blocked it, but with his other hand, he made contact, and he committed the foul there.
So Trip Hayes goes to the free throw line for 2. It's been a tough night at the line for the Lions. They are 2 out of 8. And Tripp hopes to do something about that. As we say, it's been a very quick third quarter because we only got a minute left. And checking in for the Bruins is Eli Yandel. He was one of the starters. And getting both of them. Hayes, nice form on those 2 free throws. Trinity's bringing 2 up front to try to challenge, and dribble penetration, they get through it very easily. Braden Jones, excellent ball handler. Now they're going back to their rotation, but they'd love to get Britt inside off a screen. And he's having to chase it down, and so they cough it up. That is the 8th turnover for the Bruins, and we got 35.9 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Bruins have this one well in hand. The key for Trinity is to see how respectable they can make it. Lady Bruins had pretty easy time of it, 49-23 in the opener over the Lady Lions. And traveling is called. They said that Kason White took just 1 too many steps. That's the 12th turnover on the Lions.
Bruins have to be quick if they want to score here before the end of the third.
And they're counting it down from that student section, and it will not go.
Noah Britt found the ball right in his hands, but just was surprised again and just able to throw it up.
And I don't think that would have counted if he had managed to get it home. So that was a big one. 17-4 for the Bruins in that third quarter. We'll be back with the final 6 minutes after this timeout.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Well, back we are at USJ Gym. And the leader is Noah Britt with 8 points, 7 for Jacob Snyder, 6 for Hudson Rushing. I stand corrected. It is Braden Jones with 9 who is the leader. And Britt, he has reached double figures, so once again, he is the leader.
And Britt's been doing that all night long.
It has just been a tough night against this swarming defense on the part of USJ for Trinity. And that is turnover number 13.
Way too high on the pass there, and Greg Carter did what he could to try to save it, but he had to be about 8 inches taller to get that one.
And they're going to try to give them a little half-court pressure.
We've got a running clock, so the rest of this quarter should go pretty quickly.
And the foul on the drive in, that'll be charged to Campbell Vales. And if you have a lead that is, I'm not sure if it's 20 or 25 going into the final quarter, they just give you a running clock. And it's a 29-point lead for the Bruins. And they get it underneath. Britt's going to get that second opportunity. Great follow shot. That's just instinctive on the part of somebody on a rebound situation like that. And he did a terrific job with it.
You can't give a guy like Britt another opportunity because he's not going to miss those very often.
No, he's got 12. He's the only guy in double figures in tonight's game. Right through everybody, not able to make it. Look at Britt. It goes back down in the other direction. And trying to take it coast to coast, can't make it happen, was Tanner Webb. So the Bruins will play it. And you've got what I call substitutions that are coming in from the next county. That's how many of them there were. Under 4 minutes to go. And you got a lot of these younger players that will get an opportunity to get in here into the action. Ben Spencer is then there. Max Montgomery. We'll try to get everybody mentioned. Miller Haltom, he's got the ball right now. And the jumper. Just off the back of the iron, and the rebound comes off to Drake Butler.
Tell you what, Steve, Trinity's had a tough week of basketball. If people haven't seen it yet, they've got to see how that game against Jackson Christian ended. You could see it right on Worthy Road Studios YouTube.
Driving right in for the basket was Campbell Vales.
Jackson Christian won that one on a 3/4 court shot. Right at the last second, buzzer beater to win the game by 2.
That was one of the most dramatic moments in high school basketball this year. And so Campbell delivers a 3-point play, and we got timeout. So we got 2:57 remaining. Bruins still on top of Trinity, 48-20.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson, or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care, and let your smile say it all.
.257 remaining here at USJ Gym, and the Bruins handily on top, 48-20. And we got a lot of the younger guys in here for both of these teams. And let's see how they deliver. And they kick it down the floor, and it is a beautiful drive on the inside, and give it to Max Montgomery.
Great drive, and just the way he laid that one in. Not too hard off the backboard, not too soft either.
Yeah, you don't have to kill it. And the jumper, the little floater doesn't go, and the rebound comes off to the Bruins. Luke Thompson comes up with it. Driving the baseline, couldn't get it up high enough, but the follow shot is there by Thompson. So they're showing that they've got some talent here on the floor as we are winding this down with 2:12 to go.
Some depth from the Bruins. We've seen the bench players come in, but, man, they're making their names known.
Drake Butler kicks it to the corner and tipped away. Good defense on the part of Jake Payne, who's in there with a lot of these younger guys. Jake himself has delivered a three-pointer tonight. And a jumper for a big bomb is not there. Now, he's in all kinds of trouble. Somebody's going to have to come to the ball, and they do. Got a minute and a half remaining. Trying to take that one all the way down, and the foul. Ben Spencer would not be denied, and so he has a chance to go for the three-point play.
I don't know how many minutes this season Spencer's played, but he was ready for that moment right there.
And clock continues to run because of the fourth quarter and the margin of the lead for Trinity at 54-20. For USJ. Reed Williamson comes down with a rebound. And the jumper is there. So Butler makes it a 54-22 game. And they try to get that one back outside to Spencer, and it was a bit too wide. Seconds ticking off. So Bruins will have an opportunity perhaps for their last possession of the game. It's knocked away, so Spencer will toss it in from underneath. Looking for somebody to get open. And that was a rather interesting shot underneath, but the follow goes through for Max Montgomery.
He's got 4 points in this quarter as time is going to expire in just about 5 seconds.
They're going to have to put one up quick, and they do, right at the horn, and it doesn't go. But The Bruins totally dominated, just as the girls did in their half of the doubleheader. 56-20, the final. And we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back and give you all the totals.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's body shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Serving the Jackson area for over 20 years. Carlock Nissan and Carlock Prestige, the name you can count on. Carlock Automotive, Van Drive, Jackson.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating 668-3339 for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
We are a team composed of highly skilled physical therapists with new school treatment approaches and old school customer service principles. We are a community presence because we know our foundation rests in relationship building and involvement. We are leaders in this industry and we're putting in time daily to develop that aspect of thinking. We're more than a business. We're a team composed of individuals governed by a set of core values. We're more than a physical therapy clinic. We're a movement in the profession. We are your premier physical therapy team in West Tennessee.
Hello there, everybody, as we try to wrap this one up from USJ Gym, Steve Beverly and Alexander Bitterling. And we'll give you the totals and then take you home. It was a great night for the Bruins and for the Lady Bruins. Lady Bruins right before us took a 49-23 victory home, and that was a tremendous outing with Ella Sallee with 18 points and 13 for Lita Rose in that game. Now, in our boys game that we just completed, USJ was led by Noah Britt. He had several multi-opportunities at the basket because he kept going for the offensive boards. I didn't know whether something crashed in this building when you just heard that. It was not a sound effect, but it was. He had 12 points to lead them, 9 for Braden Jones, 6 for Hudson Rushing, 7 for Jacob Snyder, and 5 for Sam Cale. But some of these younger guys got in there, like Max Montgomery and Ben Spencer, Luke Thompson. They all got into the scoring. And I count on my list here 11 different Bruins added to the total tonight, so that was a great one for them. But it was terrific to watch how Noah Britt began to exercise his advantage underneath.
Absolutely. Noah Britt's got some size on the rest of these players, and, man, he made that obvious tonight. He was getting second-chance rebounds, getting big rebounds, and putting it right back up for an easy layup.
Campbell Vales was the leader for Trinity with 6 on the evening. It was just a tough night against this swarming defense that USJ has. And just, I think you really have even more experience on that floor in the 56-20 victory. Let's run down our shooting percentages here. For the Bruins, 23 of 46%. They were only 37 at halftime, but they finished up 23 of 46 from the floor for 50%. For Trinity, it was a rough one. 8 out of 47 for only 18% from the floor. The Bruins made 7 turnovers on the night, and that gave 2 points off turnovers to the Lions. But Trinity committed 13 turnovers that led to 6 points. That was not a real big factor. The teams didn't capitalize too much on the others' turnovers. And then as we look at free throws, it was 7 out of 13 for USJ for 53%, 5 out of 11 for 46%. for Trinity, and your final was 56-20. But it was really an impressive showing from the get-go. It was 13-5 in the first quarter, and then that huge second quarter, they were up 27-13, and it was really, you almost put it in the bank right at that point.
Absolutely, Steve. And I'll tell you what, the future is bright for this Bruins program, not just for these middle schoolers that are going to move on to high school, but for this middle school team. We saw guys check in near the end like Max Montgomery and make an impact immediately, both on the defensive side of things and the offensive side of things. And if you're a Bruins fan for years to come, you've got something to be excited about with this basketball program for the guys and the girls.
Well, as we have talked about, that the players you saw on this floor tonight, they are the future of both of these schools, and you're going to be seeing them playing for the varsity within the next 2 to 3 years, and they're going to be tremendous as they are in this feeder program, and particularly learning in the girls' end of it, learning that all-court press that has just given so many teams so many fits across the board this season. Well, I think, Alexander, that about wraps it up tonight. We're going to be back out here tomorrow night for a varsity doubleheader, and we hope that everybody enjoyed the evening. I enjoyed being with you, Mr. Hip Guy.
I enjoyed hanging out with you as well. We always have a good time, and it's always good to watch some Bruins basketball because they're looking really good this season.
They really are. Well, let's show you the people who made this telecast possible tonight. The executive producer of Worthy Road Sports is Paul Schultze, and he also produced tonight's telecast and directed it. And our camera operators are Adriana Bolin and, as we mentioned, the mother and daughter team of Stephanie and Madison Janda, and they did a terrific job, one and all. And so, on a happy night for both Bruins teams, this is Steve Beverly with my partner Alexander Bitterling saying from USJ Gym in Jackson, Tennessee, so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.